Hello. Hi. So, essentially, my friend, V, has this YouTube channel, and they've only posted a couple videos. Sorry. They've only posted a couple videos. Oh, that's my ring. They've only posted a couple videos, but, I was looking over, I started to think, and I just realized, wow, I'm never gonna be 16 again. I feel like I should start, recording myself for the future, start documenting myself so I have something to look back on when I'm old and 30, 15 years from now. So, here we are. I'm Eamon. I'm 16. I turned 16 November. I just got my permit, my driver's permit. I have 3 siblings. I like to draw. I like to make things. I can't often do that because I have school. School kind of takes the life out of me. I've been getting more into rock and emo music. I'm really into My Chemical Romance, and I like to listen to CDs instead of other types of music, although I do often go back to my phone. But I feel like maybe a future video is me making playlists and CDs, because I do have the stuff to burn my CD, but I don't use it because I haven't quite figured it out yet. So, yeah, I am autistic. I feel like we should get that out of the way before we talk about anything else. If I had to pick a hyperfixation, some people are really into trains. I'm really into warrior cats. I could probably recite the entirety of the warrior cat series. I'm just into cats in general, but I particularly like warrior cats. I've got the comic books. What came out in 2021. Anything past that I don't have. I've read up to the newest series. Yeah. I have Crooked Star's Promise and Blue Star's Prophecy. My shelf's there, that's what I'm looking. My favorite band right now is My Chemical Romance. I also, though my top artist is Radiohead, it has been for the past year. I really like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, something I'm into. My hair is kind of fucked up with it a little bit. It's kind of looking pigeony. I'm not opposed to it. It's kind of looking pigeony. It's kind of late at night, that's why I'm being quiet. Not very successfully. I can sew. I've also been into cutecore recently. I don't know why, I just feel this need to be feminine for some reason. So I was trying to make myself a little pencil case for when I go back to school. My sister has lace, so I think, because it's not very well made because I made it, but before I started recording, I said just sew this side on, and I'd put this, there was already a pencil case, but I kind of cut it apart, and so these parts aren't attached, so I'm gonna take the lace and I'm gonna sew it on here, so it is attached, but I got a zipper. I just kind of have to take the time and sit and do it, and I don't really want to do that right now. I'm on spring break, that's why I'm not in school. I like to play Dungeons and Dragons. I was most recently a DM for my kind of this school event thing. and we played like Futuristic World, and oh my god, it really scared the shit out of me. I was really scared that entire time. It felt very long, very long. My stomach made a noise. This is my friend's shirt. Sometimes I forget to bring more than one change of clothes to sleepovers, so especially if it's multiple days. So he gave me his shirt, and he made it, and I've yet to give it back. It's been like a year. Not even a year. It's been half a year. It's been half a year. I just moved into this room winter break, so like 3 months ago maybe. So I don't really have anything. Like, there are a couple posters on the wall, but it's like nowhere where I'd like to be. But I don't really know how to get posters anymore. Like posters that I want. Some CDs have posters. Not all CDs. So I was thinking about making stuff because I can copy pretty good. So I was thinking about making some posters for like Fall Out Boy and Deftones and stuff. You know, because I really aspire to be older brother core. Now, I really aspire. Like, I don't know. I think it's cool. It's cool aesthetic. I'm getting more into emo. I think I said that. My eyebrows are so strange. What else do I have to say? I don't know. What else? What's important? I'm not doing too well at school, I guess. I'm really bad at French. I have been bad at French very consistently, like, for very many years, but this is like, they just kept letting me get like higher and higher in French classes. So now I'm in French like 3, and I'm bad at it. I'm failing. So I'm not doing it next year because luckily I can stop taking it this year. My favorite class is any art classes that I take. If I had to pick a dream job, I mean, I don't really dream of labor. I'm not very built for the system, but if I had to choose a job, I would like to draw comics. And I don't know if I would prefer to like ink them or draw them. I guess I would just like to work in comics, but I know how hard that is, and I don't think I need to provide for myself and for my family, and with the current economic stuff, I don't really know if art's gonna be the way to go. But I don't know if anything's really gonna be the way to go, because AI's starting to get really big, and doesn't really seem like anybody's worried about it, but like me and my peers in my generation. I mean, there are some people who use AI, but like, I don't know, like, parents and teachers aren't really worried about it taking jobs, I think, because, I don't know, AI, like, they don't really seem to understand how it's not gonna just affect like one industry, it's gonna affect every single one, and it's gonna change the world in ways that none of us can really predict, in the job market in ways that none of us can predict. And I have 2 years until I go to college, and I don't know what I'm gonna do in college and what things will be ineffective, except for like blue collar jobs. But I wish I could be blue collar. I really wish I could be blue collar. It'd make my life so much easier if I could just drop out and be a construction worker for the rest of my life. But I don't know, they might even have robots doing that. People who aren't really into it, like my dad, are older and don't really have to worry about losing their jobs. Only have like 20 years until they retire or something, or less than that. Well, if the retirement age doesn't get raised. I'm really nerdy. I really like X-Men. That's like, it goes like things that I'm into right now: X-Men, music, X-Men, Warrior Cats. I'm gonna say that. I'm also into Keycore, but that's just like nostalgia, aesthetic. I don't know why I've been getting into pink recently. It's kind of scary. What was that? I was talking about X-Men. So, I really like X-Men. My favorite right now is Cyclops and Wolverine. I don't know Wolverine's like a fan favorite, but I really do like Cyclops. I think he's really relatable, and I like how he's kind of in place for somebody with a disability. Because he does have like an aide, which has glasses, and he can't do anything without his aide, and people treat him differently because of it. His costume's kind of weird. I don't know, the whole hood pulled up he just kind of looks like a condom. I saw a video about that. That was scary. I didn't like it. But I also like Wolverine because I think he's very complex in the way that, and like how he has dynamics with other people. Like I think the dynamic, because he's explored so often because he is the fan favorite, but I think he has a very cool dynamic with Beast, because Wolverine is kind of like this character that on the surface, like you couldn't tell he was a mutant, but he feels very like, he feels a lot of imposter syndrome because of his mutanthood. He doesn't really like appear to be a mutant, and I like that into contrast with Beast, who, if you didn't see him, you wouldn't think he was a mutant, but he's kind of like, you can't separate his mutanthood from him because he is so visibly a mutant. And I really like that. I think it's a good metaphor for being a person of color, for being like very clockably queer. I like it, and I also like Wolverine and Kurt's dynamic because Kurt's relationship with religion. Kurt already has a very interesting relationship with religion, but I think, well, at least in the animated series, I haven't read too many of the comic books, but in the animated series, Kurt he's in the temple, the monastery, and they have this kind of scene with Logan, Wolverine. It's kind of like, hey, why don't you believe in God? And Wolverine's like, God's not for people like me. And then Kurt's like, well, God loves everyone. I had to come with terms with that too. God is for everyone. He loves everyone. And then at the end, Wolverine kind of like goes back to like praying, and I think that's really cool. How his relationship changes with God changes after meeting Kurt. Who else do I really like? I really like Warren Worthington III. I relate to him a lot, especially with like finding his wings. But I do really like Cyclops. The entire thing about him being like an orphan, and then at 15 he gets adopted by Charles Xavier to be the leader of the first X-Men, the first class of X-Men. That's a movie, First Class. And I think it's really interesting how he's surrounded by telepaths his entire life, so then he kind of feels this pressure to be the perfect leader. And then I like how after Jean dies, he's like, yo, fuck that. He kind of steps away, very like, he very much puts himself first, which I think he's been taught not to do, but I think he has to learn to embrace. So after Jean's death, he goes back to the orphanage, and I find it so interesting. It made me kind of upset that he and Emma Frost had a thing, because once again, it's just like another telepath, and I'm like, you need a little bit of a break from them, bro. Like, I guess it would be good. I don't know. I would feel kind of uncomfortable if I was dating a telepath, because they would know I couldn't lie to them. I mean, I try not. This is bad. It's just like, I would be showing them the entire person, and that would be very scary to me, I think. And I wonder if, I'm sorry, I'm really mesmerized by the way that my hair gets slightly bluer at the bottom. I feel like such a pigeon. I'm so glad. It's incredible. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't know. And I also think that Cyclops not having like an end-all be-all relationship with Jean needs to be explored more, because it's kind of like token like couple, and I think that it's important for him to have a chance to kind of explore, and her to explore, rather than just dating each other and dating one person for your entire life. I don't know. Maybe that's more me than him, or both of them. I also, I really like when they take revolutionary stance with him. I really like it when they take a revolutionary stance, like a very radical, like Magneto kind of stance. Because I do really like Magneto too. And I think that Cyclops better encapsulates the mutant struggle, and he's more of a face for mutants than either Magneto or Xavier. So I like the kind of revolutionary run that they've taken with him in X-Men 97. I've heard, I haven't really watched it. In the newer comic runs, I think. I really like my hair right now. I'm gonna dye it purple later, but I like pigeon. I like pigeons. It's also something I like. What else do I want to talk about? Do I have a favorite song right now? Dance Dance has been my favorite by Fall Out Boy from Under the Cork Tree, has been my favorite for about a year now. I really like the song. I really like Fall Out Boy. I like My Chemical Romance more, but I listen to Fall Out Boy more, like, regularly. That's not a word. But I really like Fall Out Boy because I like his range of, that's what you would say, the range. I really like the range of Patrick Stump's voice, and I think that some My Chemical Romance songs sound very similar, and I don't know, I like My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance is my favorite band. I find it very interesting. I really enjoy what My Chemical Romance has done for me, and I guess the rest of the scene, but I listen to Fall Out Boy more. Another thing that happened this year that I feel like I should say, if this is just a video for myself, that I lost my phone earlier this year. I haven't had a phone before this, for context. I had like a really dumb phone that had like text messages, and you could call, and photos, and that's it. So this is like my first phone. So then, I got out of the car. I had my phone on me in the car. I got out of the car. I came into the student center, like the area that all the students hang out in. It was gone. It was gone for a full 24 hours. by the time my friend found it, she found it in with the security, like the police officer. It was cracked so badly. The entire screen was green. I was like, oh my god, my parents are gonna kill me. Because, you know, like phones, this is my first phone, and like, phones are expensive, and I'm like, I lost it for a day, and then I broke it. Oh my god, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna, like, oh my god. I was so distraught. And then my Nessie there, she was like, yo, I can help you. I was like, I have $14 on me. I need to find somewhere to get it fixed. And Nessie was like, don't worry about it. I'll pay for you, and I'll bring you there. I love my friends. Hello? So then my phone got fixed in like 10 minutes, and then my parents never found out, and it's so great. It's so great. They still don't know. It's fantastic. So that's a story that I tell them very much later, I think. It might be like a later activity when I turn like 18 or something. Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of getting tired. This is my video. This is my first video on Instagram. I haven't got a shirt. It's a shirtless drama. What?